morning. Let's try that again. Good morning. Thank you. First of all, thank you. This is a great day for us. This is an opportunity for us to turn over the reins of power to the future of our great city. So, first of all, if I could just ask, if you could just raise your hands, the students from Fecht O'Leary. Thank you very much. St. Mary's. They always sit together. St. Mary's is always there. Classical's always there. English is always there. Lynn English. Ooh. The fire chief. Thank you. Lynn Tech. Nice. In my school, Lynn Classical. Oh, sorry. Thank you very much. We want to start by recognizing some elected officials that are here today. City Councilor at Large, Brian LaPierre. Where is Brian? Brian? Ward 1 Councilor Wayne Losey. City Council President Dan Cahill. City Councilor at Large Buzzy Barton. Ward 5 Councilor Diana Jacutis. Councilor at Large Hong Net. From the school committee, Lorraine Gately. And State Representative Brendan Creighton. I also forgot students from KIPP Academy. Anybody from KIPP over here? Be proud. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce our mayor, Judith Flanagan Kennedy. Mayor Kennedy.
Jim's so formal. We've known each other since the days that I was Judy the junior in high school and he was Jim the senior in high school over at Lynn Classical. And sometime during the day today, he is going to tell you that I used to cheat off him in physics class. I want you all to know it was the other way around, just that we have that clear. So, also when I was in high school, maybe about 36 years ago or so, I took part in Student Government Day, and I was the superintendent of schools, and I will never forget my name tag that said superintendent of schools spelled superintendent wrong. It was A-N-T, so I felt like I had to walk around like this all day. So hopefully none of you have any misspellings. Oh, now I see you all checking your name tags now. But if it's a problem, come to us, we'll fix it for you. I just think this is a really good opportunity for all of you to take a look at how government works. I know that if you've been following the presidential election, you probably go, oh my God, all those people that are part of government are crazy, because some of the things that you're seeing on TV right now are not the way our forefathers thought that our elected officials would behave. So hopefully we'll set a better example for you today. We'll give you a little taste of what we do day in and day out. Some of you are going to be going to a mock school committee meeting. Others are going to go to a mock city council meeting. Some of you will be touring City Hall. Some of you will be going to the Lynn Museum. But I'm sure you'll all have a good time. And I know you're getting into the home stretch of your senior year, so try to remember that you still have about another month of classes and you still have to fill those heads with learning a little bit. But enjoy your day today, and I hope you do take something out of it. Enjoy yourselves.
Thank you, Mayor. Representing the state delegation will be Representative Brendan Creighton. Brendan.
Thank you, Jim. And on behalf of State Senator Tom McGee, State Rep-elect Dan Cahill, and also former State Representative Bob Fennell, I just want to say, take full advantage of this day. It's a great opportunity to learn the inner workings of government. I want you guys to challenge yourselves, challenge your fellow students, even challenge your co-workers today. Ask questions, give suggestions, and really take this all in. Government, no matter what you do in life, is going to have an effect on your lives. So whether it's a pothole in the street, street light being out, your tuition in college, your employment, jobs in the future, everything's going to affect you. So you have to know how it works and you have to participate. So good luck today and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Next, representing the City Council, our President, Dan Cahill.
Well, good morning, everybody. This isn't just a day off of school. You're actually going to do a lot of work today, and we need you to do that because the future of Lynn is in your hands. I, too, along with some folks behind here, were sitting in your chairs many years ago doing Student Government Day, and a little story from my past is I was on the school committee, and I had rejected I'd opposed spending money on books, and I said, well, we shouldn't spend money on books. In the future, people will be reading books on computers. And they looked at me like I was crazy. I'm still crazy. However, I was right. So think big today. Think of some great ideas that maybe in the future people will think that you're a little bit nutty, but hopefully one day you'll be sitting up here directing things. So look to your left and look to your right. One day one of you will be up here running government. And public service, as my former colleague and future colleague Brendan Crichton said, public service is very, very important. It's probably the most important thing we do in this country. They don't have private service. They don't call it private service. It's public service because you're really serving the people. And that job is the most special portion of our community that you can participate in. And we need your help. We need you young folks to do well today, get excited about being in government, forget the federal stuff, focus on local and state politics. It's much better here in Massachusetts. And think about the things you can do to impact people's lives. We do that on a daily basis. If somebody needs housing, we help. Somebody's water's turned off, we help. If somebody's having a hard time navigating city government because maybe there's a language barrier, that's where we help. It's exciting work, and it's important work, and we need your help going forward to making sure that we have quality folks, men and women, sitting in these chairs making decisions on behalf of the City of Lynn and making decisions on behalf of us one day as well. So enjoy your time here. Have a great time. It's really exciting. You will remember this for the rest of your life, I promise you. And again, thank you for your service today, and I look forward to your service in the future.
Okay, and our last speaker, I'd like the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Latham, to come up and say a few words. Dr. Latham.
Thank you very much. I'm going to add my voice to everybody. I hope you really enjoy the day, and to the school committee, the superintendent, and the deputy superintendents who will be coming over and adding your suggestions to school committee. No, you can't change the schedule. It'll be 180 days, and nothing else can change on that. And but we look forward to your day. We're going to give you a little tour around, and I know you're going to enjoy yourself. So welcome aboard, and I agree with Mr. Cahill. I hope we see many of you in the future active in the City of Lynn. Thank you.
Okay, so what happens now is I will probably butcher a lot of these names, but I will call your name and match you up with the department head that is here, and then they will take you away. If you are a student city councilor and I call your name, come into this area here, and there'll be a meeting right after. So let me begin butchering. You ready? First up, Julie Engov. She is the assessor. Where is the assessor? Michael. Mike Fisher and Chris Gator in the back of the room. Raise your hand. Thank you. Next, Dan Lang, also the assessor, which is in the back of the room. Lucy Pecina is the Director of Community Development. Who's here from Community Development? Mr. Walker? Where's Lucy? Lucy? Yep, over there. Mr. Walker's raising his hand. Carlos Espandola, Community Development. Carlos will be running the auditorium. I expect big things from you. Also in the back of the room. Kayla Urbez, she'll be the facilities manager. Also, Mr. Walker in the back. Rachio Cerna, community development in the back. Ruto Bonwin, community facilities manager. Mr. Walker, just raise your hand. Thank you. Joey Donnelly will be the city clerk. So Joey, you'll be up here today. Whoops, I'm sorry. Joey, you'll be up here. Jonathan De Azevedo, city clerk. Jonathan will be up here. Where's the city collector? Who's representing the collector's office today? You see, Jamie? Justin Lewis will be the city collector. Where's Justin? Justin, you'll be over here. The comptroller, is the comptroller here today? Yes, Mr. Spencer. Matthew McManus will be the city comptroller. Where's Matthew? You'll be in the back of the room. Mr. Spencer? Okay, City Council, Gabby Graham will be the City Council office aide. Terry, you have this one? Yeah. Gabby, you'll be with Ms. Young over here. Haley Denham will be the council president. So Haley, you'll be here today. So Haley, you'll be here. Bobby Haddow will also be a City Council of Ward 3. Sean Dean will be a councilor at large representing Councilor LaPierre. Tony Hill will be a councilor at large representing Buzzy Barton. Celine Thai, councilor at large, Hong Net. Madison Angeli will be Ward 1 representing Councilor Lozey. Cesar Velaz will be representing Ward 2 today. Molly Enhive will be representing Ward 4. Shay Dunnigan will be representing Ward 5. Samir Usman, Ward 6. Carolyn McDonald, Ward 7. Taylor Capozzi, where's Taylor? Taylor Capozzi. Not here, thank you. Thanks, Terry. Jacob DeFilippo will be the DPW commissioner. Back of the room to Lisa Nerick. Precious Parker will be the superintendent of cemeteries. Precious in the back of the room. Leono Koo is the associate DPW commissioner in the back of the room. Noah Winston will be a DPW associate commissioner in the back of the room.
Days longer, will the year
Rithi Owen will be the superintendent of the streets
the same length?
in the back of the room. Yep.
What general,
And Nelson Idahosa will be the garage general manager in the back of the room.
you're a proponent, you're,
EDIC, Mary Jane Smalley, raise your hand. Ore Barr will be the project manager for economic development. Where's Ore?
to
Yes, right
say
there, Mary
why
Jane.
you're in
Yep.
favor.
Jordan Kobishley will be the director of EDIC. Where's Jordan?
Graduation rates and
Jordan,
whatever your
right there in the back.
arguments and you know, it's funny, sometimes the kids get real into it,
The fire chief,
they don't. It just,
Larissa Bogomlov will be the fire chief.
so I'm not sure.
If I messed that up, I'm sorry. Did I? No, yeah. The deputy fire chief, Olivia Scleu. In the district chief training of the fire department, Anderson Mayer.
They're good. Yeah. Yeah.
Director of the Housing Authority. Who's here from the Housing Authority?
He got surgery.
Mr. Tebow. Jessica DeJoy. Where's Jessica?
Did he have shots?
Also with the Housing Authority, Marcellus Tolentino.
It would shock his arm. So. I think it's good. Yeah. But he's been
ISD, who's here from Inspectional Services? The whole group there, okay. Brianna Silver is the director. Brianna,
Me too.
right behind you.
Okay.
Juliana Rivera. All of these are going to ISD in the back. Ashley Menard. Felicita Chavez. Mazia Malia. All going to ISD. Those folks standing up right there. The Law Department. Mr. Phelan, the Law Department. Today's City Attorney Tracy Doe. Where's Tracy? Tracy, right there, Mr. Phelan.
You just read it so loud.
The library. From the library, yep, in the back of the room. Corrine John Gilles. In the children's section, in the back of the room. Mariama Barry will also be the chief librarian today, in the back of the room. Who's here from Lynn Water and Sewer? Mr. Fennell. Daisy Angel will be the chief engineer for Lynn Water and Sewer. Where's Daisy? Daisy? Yes, right behind you, Daisy. Also, Lynn Water and Sewer, the director today, Adelina Katsunas. There she is. Mr. Fennell, raise your hand. Mr. Fennell? He's over there talking.
I was like-
Right there, thank you.
John, are you
Okay,
comfortable up there? Are you comfortable up there?
in the mayor's office, who's gonna grab the
Just
mayor's
so
keys?
used to
Okay.
being up
The mayor. The chief of staff, Anthony Wangi.
How long are we supposed to talk?
Sorry, Anthony, if I mispronounced that. Right, Mrs. Cerulli over here. The director of constituent services, Rod Fontaine.
Because we weren't like prep.
The chief of, I said that, okay, the mayor today, Mia Kennedy. Those are right here. Okay, the parking department, who's here from the parking department? Mr. Stillion. Anna Athansopoulos. Also in the parking, Misha Jones. Personnel, Mr. Driscoll in the back of the room. Jimo George will be the director of personnel, right there in the back. The police department, deputy chief, Alicia Dunnigan will be the chief of police today. Mr. McGarry's right over here. Deputy Chief Wei Dar,
A couple years ago.
right,
Yeah, I know. Back when you only had a little girl.
from purchasing,
Yeah,
Mr. White. Natalie Rodriguez,
I really do.
where's Natalie? Yep. Okay, the school committee, Mr. Arabino. So anybody, the following members that are school committee members, Mr. Arabino will take you. Representing the school committee, Angel Acevedo, Anik Hoshin, Lertouche Hemahili, Alina Lee, Jennifer Duran, Hector Valvicio. All of those folks over here. Continuing with the school department, Melvin Sosa. And you'll be over here, Melvin. Nico Ortiz. Mason Isaac. Ahano Roden. So all of that, those folks are over here. The treasurer's office, who's here from the, Nancy? Alicia Bernardin.
I wasn't ready for this. I know.
In veterans office, anybody here from veterans office? Mrs. Cerulli? Veterans office, can you just, this is Dan Hennessy. I don't think there's anybody here from veterans. Okay, if your name wasn't called, too bad.
I kind of feel like so too. I don't remember. Thank you. Student government. All class office. Thank you.
It's starting to smell bad. Our names are on there.
Councilor Barton?
That's so cool. Look. Yeah, I know. I'm supposed to take a picture.
Councilor Barton? Councilor Barton, you're out of order.
Yeah, we understand. We don't expect it. They really are. Can it? That's cool.
So what's going to happen is we're going to list, it's going to say, you know,
So cool.
say, Councilor.
Tech.
I'm already used to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then and then you'll read the council on it, and then she'll call on council time. Why did you put in the audience?
Student councilors, have you taken a chance to look at the city council orders?
But just read this and that's.
Yep. And then when it's time to take the vote, you will take the vote. Double gavel. What I would do is put like
Oh, we have,
number. Oh, there's a million.
I think it was in order.
Mary, we ready?
Wait, so weird.
Okay,
Are we supposed to?
let's begin. So, this is a replication of a city council meeting, all right? And so, I just wanted to kind of go over the ground rules, all right? So a city councilor represents either a ward, which is a certain part of the area, or an at-large, which is the entire city. And so they meet twice a month, usually, second and fourth Tuesday of the month. And so I just kind of want to go over how a meeting is conducted. And it's under what they call Robert's Rules of Order, which is parliamentary procedure, because it's a very formal process. Otherwise, you'd have chaos, right? And so what happens is, when you want to speak, you can't just start speaking and say, I don't agree with that. You can't do that. So you have to raise your hand, and whoever the city council president is, they will point to you, recognize you, and then you can speak, all right? So there's kind of that formality that happens, and that happens at a real city council meeting. So we'll conduct this meeting today just like it was a real city council meeting, all right? Mary has how many years' experience? Oh, God. Yes, so combined, we're over 60 years' experience, right? So Mary is the city clerk. She's been with us a long time. The city clerk stands to the right of the city council president. It takes accountability of the meeting, does roll calls, collects the votes, it tabulates the votes, et cetera. You've been given city council orders that each city councilor has filed on your behalf. The idea today is for you to kind of get a taste of how the debates happen and how government works, right? So you'll get a taste of it today. Myself and Mary will kind of prod you to kind of encourage debate. And if you don't agree with what your counselor has filed, that's okay. You can say that. If you agree with it, say why you agree with it. If you don't agree with it, then say why you don't agree with it. So I encourage you to debate these things. And so with that, Mary, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, the first thing we'll do is, the council president will ask the clerk to read the first order, and it'll be by a certain councilor. So if it's your order that he's reading, you're going to be the first one called. She's going to call on you, and you're going to give your reason for presenting the order. And again, as Jim said, if you don't agree with it, you could just say, this is my council order, but I don't agree with it because, or if you like, I am supporting this order because. So you give a reason, and then we'll call on somebody. Well, first we have to get it seconded. You're going to do it, then somebody will second that motion, and then there can be a debate. So anybody can speak on it and give their reason why they agree or they disagree with it. And that'll go back and forth until everybody's satisfied that they had their say, and then they'll call for a vote.
So what'll happen on the first council order, right? The council president will point to the person that has filed the council order. At that point, you will talk on it, and at the end of your feelings, whether you're for or against, you will either make a motion to grant or a motion to deny. Once the motion is made to grant or deny, there has to be a second. Once there's a second, then discussion happens, okay? Let's try one out and see how it works. So what you'll do is you'll point to Councilor Ty. Oh, go ahead, Mary, go
You
ahead.
say clerk first
Oh,
order
yeah,
of
she's gonna read
business.
it, I'm sorry. I was just testing her. She's confused. Go ahead, City Clerk, sorry.
All right. First order of business, Councilor Ty recommends that the Lynn School Department and Lynn Teachers Union meet to discuss the implementation of longer school days to improve academic performance and achievement in the Lynn Public Schools.
So now,
Oh, so then now I go?
sorry, Mary. Yes. So speak into the mic.
Yeah, so that.
Oh, okay. So, I guess I don't agree with it now, but I probably would if I was older. So yeah, I could see where that could be beneficial to the students, as where longer school days could perhaps improve the education by increasing the hours you are in a particular class. You could probably go in depth, like on the subject a little more.
So you're going to make a motion to what? Approve or not approve?
Approve.
Is there a second? Second.
So now it's open for discussion, so if you want to speak, you raise your hand. I should have started by telling you that this is being televised. So this is on community television. It really is. And so this is your chance for fame. Yes. All right, so you made a motion to grant, right?
Yes.
And so it's seconded. So now, what do you think about this council? Are you for it or against it? Anybody? So then you point to whoever you want. That's right.
I I am against this because, from my standpoint in school, by 2:30, I'm done. I can't function at that point, and having a longer school day would just, I feel like it may be beneficial, but on the other hand, some kids would probably disagree, and maybe that might affect their attendance rate in school. So I am against this this order.
They're done at 2:30.
I am.
Go home and go to bed. Yep, anybody you want to?
I'm also against it because because we start school at 7:45 in the morning and we get out of school by 2:30. So getting up, obviously everyone has to get up early, but just getting from the get-go from 7:45 all the way to 2:30, that's a long day, especially for younger children too that are in elementary school. Elementary school children, their attention span isn't very long, so I think if increasing our school days, it'll lose them. Like my friend over there, he said that the attendance rate will drop. So I don't think making the school day a lot longer is going to do any justice for anyone's attendance. No one will go. So I'm not for that. I'm against it.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I also disagree because I can see the benefits of having a longer school day, but with everyone has different circumstances. You know, when it comes to the parents, when it comes to the student himself. You know, some students, you know, they could have a hard time at home. You know, they keep taking care of their brothers and sisters. So having a longer school day, it probably won't it can help, but can also intervene in their daily lives. You know, so I disagree.
I'm also against it. I feel it's an unnecessary burden. I feel like for student athletes, you know, this could run into a lot of issues where they have more time in school and then they have games or practice and then even less time for homework.
What about, and there's 5 city councils sitting here, and I know that they would be thinking about this if something like this were proposed. Who pays for this,
State does.
right? Because there's got to be a cost to it. So. Anybody else?
What about the option of a Saturday?
No.
She got a Madam President.
Going back to what the city clerk said about Saturdays, some schools already have Saturday school programs for MCAS resource. So I think just by increasing the school day, making it a lot longer, and on top of that, going to Saturday school, it wouldn't really sit well with a lot of students, and also like my other friend over there said, he said that it would interfere with sports. I mean, students do sports, they have families, they have to go take care of their siblings, so it would really interfere with a lot of stuff that happens outside of school too. So.
Also on that, many people, like many high school kids, especially seniors, have jobs. So yeah, to work during the week is tough enough, and then the weekend is where you pick up a bulk of your hours, or at least for me. So having school on Saturday would really cut into that, making it hard for me to pay my car insurance, gas, all that type of stuff. So I don't think that would be a good thing for schools.
So, Madam Clerk, what happens at the end of the debate?
The president will ask if there's any further discussion.
Is there any further discussion?
Okay, and then you say seeing none, and you'll ask the clerk to take the roll call.
Okay. Angeli, you're voting for or against?
For.
To grant, this is to grant the extended time.
So if you say yes, that means you want a longer day, just so everybody's clear.
Dean,
Against.
Denham,
Against.
Dunnigan,
Against.
Haddo,
Against.
Hill,
Against.
McDonald,
Against.
Niv,
Against.
Ty,
For.
Usuman,
Against.
Velez,
Against.
So you'll say the motion fails, 9 no.
The motion fails 9-0.
All right,
When
so,
you give your answer, you can just say yes if you're for it and no if you're against it.
I know everybody is upset, but the school day is not being extended, all right? Then he will ask him to read the next council. Okay. Hey, clerk, read the second.
Do I say it in the mic?
Yep, into the mic.
Wait, what do I say? Read the next order.
Counselor Denham recommends that the director of the Parks and Recreation Program work in conjunction with the Lynn Police Department to include a presentation on bullying in the Parks and Recreation Summer Program.
Okay, so what happens is the city council president cannot speak from the podium because it could be intimidating, you know, so what happens is the council president would call upon the vice president. Do we have a vice president, Mary?
Who is it?
Vice president?
Who's doing Darren? That would be Counselor Haddo.
So what's going to happen is you're going to ask Councilor Haddo to come up here, and then you're going to go there so you can speak on your council order,
All right.
okay?
So you call Counselor Haddo.
Counselor Haddo. And then I just go
Come on up, Mr. Vice President. This is all part of that formal Robert's Rules of Order, so you don't want the president up here speaking that could influence the members of the council.
Okay, you might want to say, clerk, could you please? I don't hear you.
All right.
Clerk, could you please repeat the order?
Counselor Denham recommends that the director of the Parks and Recreation Program work in conjunction with the Lynn Police Department to include a presentation on bullying in the Parks and Recreation Summer Program.
All right, so now you call on council.
Counselor Denham?
So now you speak on the council order.
I think that bullying is important to address at that age, so I think that it's important that we instill in the children how important it is to refrain from using any sort of bullying, whether it be like physical or like cyberbullying or things like that. And I think it's an important lesson for them to learn.
So you're going to make a motion to approve?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask for a second.
Is there a second on the motion?
Is there a second on the motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Counselor Dean?
I think that it should be approved for the pure fact that bullying could really ruin someone's life, especially at that young age where you're trying to have fun, go out, like play with your friends, but then you have that one kid, two kids that think that they can tell you whatever they want you to do. It could really just put a huge damper on your life.
Else? Let me ask a serious question. How many of you folks have seen bullying at some time in your career here? Everyone. That's scary, isn't it? Any other discussion? Everybody is against bullying. All right, so then you say if there's no more discussion. Clerk, call the roll.
If there's no more discussion, clerk, please call the roll.
Angeli?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Denham?
Yes.
Dunnigan?
Yes.
Haddo?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
McDonald?
Yes.
Niv?
Yes.
Ty?
Yes.
Usuman?
Yes.
Velez?
Yes.
So the
That's 11 yes.
motion is passed.
carried.
Motion carried, 11 yes.
Madam President, could you come back up to the gavel? Thank you.
Clerk, read the next order.
Councilor Usuman recommends that Her Honor, the Mayor, be requested to establish a youth violence task force that would include students, parents, community leaders, school department personnel, and the Lynn Police Department to address the youth violence in the city of Lynn.
I do agree with this because violence is an increase in conflict in the city and in many places. I think this would be like a good start to like ending it. Maybe not ending it, but making it better. So yes.
He was the fastest runner I ever saw.
Do I ask for anybody second?
So you made a motion, sir?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and then you say, is there a second?
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion.
Discussion?
Yeah, someone had it. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. I think it would be a good idea, but I have questions about how it would be funded. I think that there might be issues with the cost and, you know, just how much out there and how long they'd have to be pursuing this issue.
So that's a question, right? And so normally what would happen is you'd go back to the council who's proposing this, saying, okay, great idea, how do you pay for it? So now it comes back to you.
Honestly, I don't think money should be a problem in this issue because violence is something that's, you know, affecting all of us. And, you know, whether it's affecting you or it's not affecting you, it's affecting you in some way, and it's affecting your city that you live in. So if money is an issue that you're worried about, I think that's one of the problems. So I don't think money should be an issue in this kind of problem case.
Thank you.
I agree with Councillor Useman. I believe that if we do something to perhaps counteract this violence, that in the long run it will like pay for itself. Like whether or not, I'm not quite sure what a good example is, but even like graffiti, what we do to remove it and stuff like that. Even if we just do something to prevent that, or and who else would be better for the job than the people themselves, like the students, the parents, and all these people like that are a part of the daily life of Lynn. Yeah.
Do they have groups like that now in the schools?
Yeah.
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 How many people, honest answer, how many people think that Lynn has a problem with violence? That was a maybe. Most people, okay.
I also agree with Councillor Usman for having a program with parents about violence, because the violence rate just in the schools alone has increased exponentially. Even in the middle school, it's like the students are not handling their issues the right way. They're handling it in an unsafe way. Instead of talking their problems out by pulling each other aside and saying it in private, they're getting more people involved. They're using their violence. They're throwing fists, and then on top of that, other students around them are recording it and putting it on social media and live streaming it. And that's not okay. And I think parents and students should be aware that even if you're not in the fight, but if you're recording it, you're still part of the problem, not the solution. So I agree with Councillor Usman.
I also agree with Councilor Usman for the fact that when kids are young, they tend to, their mind's still growing and developing. They see things on TV, on all this type of thing, like all this other things that kind of influence what they will do in their life. And to catch them young and to try to stop that when they're in elementary school and middle school would definitely have an effect in later in life, and probably reduce the violence rate in the city, in schools, and even just outside everyday life.
Anybody else?
No discussion. City clerk, roll call.
Angeli,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Denham,
Yes.
Dunnigan,
Yes.
Haddo,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
McDonald,
Yes.
Niv,
Yes.
Ty,
Yes.
Usman,
Yes.
Velez.
Yes.
Motion passed, 11 yes.
Nice. Okay. Say clerk, read the next council.
Clerk, read the next council order.
Councillor Dunnigan recommends that the Lynn City Council be requested to look into the feasibility of amending the graffiti ordinance to include, if persons placing graffiti on buildings, parks, and public property within the city of Lynn and are under the age of 18 years, the parents will be responsible for paying the fine and/or to have the graffiti removed.
So I do agree, since parents are technically in charge of their kids if they're under 18, they should have to do something about it. But I also feel that the kids should have to do community service or something. So I don't know if that's agreeing or disagreeing, or can I add that to it?
So she can make a motion to amend it to include that.
Okay, so you can, what you're really trying to do is amend the council order, so
Okay.
what you would do is you make a motion to amend, and then say how you want to amend it.
Okay. So I do make the motion to amend that the parents should be responsible for paying, but the kids should also have to do some sort of community service as well.
Okay, so that's a motion to amend, so that motion to amend needs to be seconded,
I'll second.
right?
Discussion.
Is there any discussion on the motion to amend?
I agree with Counselor Dunnigan that the motion should be amended, but I also think that the child or student that did do the graffiti, I don't think it really, I mean, if they're under 18, yes, a parent should pay for it, but if they're 18, you should be responsible for paying what you damaged or what you did, because you went and violated public property that wasn't yours to begin with. So I do agree with Counselor Dunnigan by having the motion amended and having the child, the minor under 18, should do community service and also help pay for it, because when
Let me
they
ask you
do.
a question, so, City Hall gets graffitied, right? We know who did it, so we grabbed them, and so now, under this council order that Councilor Dunnigan just filed, the parents are brought in. Let's say it's a single-family home, so the mom's there, and the mom says, I have zero money to pay for this. Now what do we do? Councilor Dunnigan.
Well, I guess you can just have the kid do community service then, if they really can't pay for it.
I feel that if the kid is under 18 and did this graffiti, I feel that he or she should be the person that fixes it. He should have to repaint. Say it was a wall that he did it over. He should have to repaint the wall. And any other time graffiti happens onto that wall, even if it wasn't him, he started it. So he should have to just that's his wall. His or her wall, that he should have to repaint it and make sure that it stays clean.
Just a quick story. So I grew up near Franklin Street. Everybody knows where Franklin Street is, off of Franklin Street. And there used to be a church there. And two of the neighborhood kids did terrible graffiti to the church, and the cops found them. And what the chief made them do is those two kids had to repaint what the damage they had done. And we never had another problem with those two kids out of that church to kind of support what you were saying. Anybody else have any feelings on graffiti in Councilor Dunnigan's order? So,
Vote on the amendment first to add that.
all right, so now, we're going, as the city clerk just said, so remember Councilor Dunnigan amended it, right? So we are voting now on her amendment, right?
Angeli,
Yes.
Dean,
No.
Denham,
No.
Dunnigan,
Yes.
Haddo,
No.
Hill,
No.
McDonald,
Yes.
Niv,
No.
Ty,
No.
Usman,
No.
Velez.
Yes.
4 yeses, 7 noes, so the noes have it, I guess.
Now you're going to
No.
take a vote on the council
Okay.
order as amended.
Alright.
The whole council order as amended. Yeah, well, then on the council order without the.
Without the amendment, right? Yeah, okay.
So what happened was, Councilor Dunnigan filed an amendment, right? So you folks just voted on that, and I believe, City Clerk, that the amendment failed, correct? Okay. So when the amendment fails, now you go back to the main council order that Councilor Dunnigan filed. So now that's what you're voting on, just that main order. Roll call.
Angeli,
No.
Dean,
No.
Denham,
No.
Dunnigan,
Yes.
Haddo,
No.
Hill,
No.
McDonald,
No.
Niv,
No.
Ty,
No.
Usman,
No.
Velez.
No.
Okay, so we have 11. So 10 no's. They
And noes.
win.
That fails. So now say next time.
Read the next council order.
All right. Counselor Dean recommends that high school students provide community service to the city as part of their curriculum. Community service such as spring cleanups, mentoring with younger students, and volunteering to help the elderly.
I am for this order. I feel like it gives back to the city in a great way. Say just they require 10 hours of community service every year. That's really not that much, and with the amount of students in Lynn schools, it could definitely make a huge impact on the way that the city looks. Clean, like it'd be a lot more clean. And as for elderly, like with the polls and stuff like that, it takes a lot for them to get to the polls if they can't drive. So by having, say, kids with cars, maybe helping them out, it would definitely have a huge impact on the voting in the city as well. So I am for.
So that would be a motion to grant, right?
Grant, yes.
Okay? Now say is there a second?
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion?
I think that this order would not only be beneficial to the city of Lynn, but it would be beneficial to the students as well, because colleges, after 4 years, look for community service and helping a community. So I think it would help them on their college resumes and applications. Also, I think that just in general, it will keep kids out of doing like bad things to the city. So it would keep them in like a group and lower like crime rates among kids throughout the city. So yeah.
I think it is a great idea as the students partake in like community service. They could just really be involved with other people in the city. And yeah, I do agree with Councilor Hill. Like they could, instead of, being out there and potentially doing other not so great things, they could be contributing to something greater.
So can I ask a question, just kind of devil's advocate for a second? I think everybody is for community service and helping folks and that sort of thing. But how do you feel about the government saying this is mandatory, that it's going to be part of your curriculum?
Okay, maybe that is not so great, as community service should be done out of the goodness of your heart.
Yep.
Versus it being mandatory. But regardless, that does help the community. It would definitely clean up the streets more. I think it would just be a great overall impact on the community. Whether or not it is mandatory, I mean, it would be nice if people did community service regardless, but if it was, then the impact is still the same.
Good answer.
I don't think community service should be mandatory, like Councilor Ty said. Community service should just be a thing that a random act of random kindness. It shouldn't be forced on someone. Oh, you have to do community service in order to graduate. Like I know some high schools, it's a graduation requirement. I know that some high schools do have to do at least only a few hours of community service. But I think it's only a few hours out of your day that you're doing something good for your city.
Any more discussion? Roll call.
Angeli,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Denham,
Yes.
Dunnigan,
Yes.
Haddo,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
McDonald,
Yes.
Niv,
Yes.
Ty,
Yes.
Usman,
Yes.
Velez.
Yes.
11 yeses. Motion granted.
Council Lapierre, your motion passed. Next.
Read the next order.
Counselor Velez recommends that the Lynn School Department look into installing metal detectors in all middle and high schools.
I do agree with this because we can really assure our students' safety. When a student walks in through the door, you don't know if they're carrying something in their bag, under the shirt. They could be carrying a weapon. You really don't know until, something happens.
So you'd like to make a motion to grant?
Yeah.
Second?
Anybody? All right, so what happens on something like this is you can't get to the discussion part of the council order. If there's no second, then it just ends. It doesn't pass, and there's no debate, it just ends. So, and that happens rarely, but it does happen. I'm thinking, Council, that they do not want metal detectors. They didn't second your request. Yes?
I'm not gonna second it, but I don't think I should have to walk through airport security to go to school every day. If students read their handbooks, they know that weapons are not allowed in school regardless. So why are you gonna bring a weapon to school? Like, what are you gonna say? I'm protecting myself from what? You're in school. You're in a safe place. School's safe. There's no need to walk through airport security just to get to my class. There's no need for that.
Okay, so this one just kind of goes off by itself. Didn't pass. We'll go on to the next one.
Read the next order.
Counselor Haddo recommends that the DPW director be requested to look into the feasibility of funding the Parks and Recreation budget for a citywide Olympics event for ages 6 to 15 years. This event would be free to residents and will include basketball, baseball, softball, and relay races.
Thank you. I think this would be a very beneficial decision for the city to make. I think it would be a great way to incorporate the different age groups into each other and help kind of unify the city.
So you'd like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to agree. To grant.
Second?
Second.
Debate? Discussion? Anybody want to talk about this?
Where would we get the funding for this event since it is free, I believe?
Right.
We could use state funds.
Listen, great city council right there. Didn't go into the city coffers, went to the state coffers. But Councilor, your point is always one that city officials always ask the question. So when this council order says this is free, it's free for the people that are participating, right? You're going to need police there, you're going to need city workers there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's definitely a cost. So that's a valid question, but council came up with an answer right away. The state will pay for it. Don't you worry. Anybody else? Discussions? What do you think about a city? Forget about the cost for a second. Let's pretend we have the money. What do you think about a citywide Olympics?
I think a citywide Olympic would be awesome. It would be a great way for a family to get out and get a family exercise. So regardless you're playing baseball, basketball, softball, or just running around in a race, you're outside, you're getting fresh air, you're getting exercise, you're doing something fun instead of sitting inside bored. So I agree with this.
Anybody else?
And can I just point out, just so that you know, the councilors that come to the meeting on Tuesday night, they get this list of council orders the week before, and a lot of them do their homework before they come in here. They will contact the DPW, they'll contact the police, they'll find out how much is involved, what they're expecting to do, or a lot of times a group will propose this to the councilor, and the councilor will speak to the group and ask them exactly what they're hoping to attain. So there's a lot of background work that people don't see when the council is here on Tuesday nights. A lot of people get the impression they come, they sit down, we're here for an hour and we're gone. There's several committee meetings. This probably would go through a committee prior to even coming in here, so a smaller group of councilors would discuss it and vet it and find out, what needs to be done, what can't be done. So I know when we're asking questions here about who's going to pay for it, you guys haven't had the opportunity to do your homework, whereas the other councilors will have these answers so that they can make the best decision for their constituents. So I just want you to realize that it's not just sitting here not knowing what's going on.
Okay. Roll call.
Roll call.
Angeli,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Benham,
Yes.
Dunnigan,
Yes.
Haddo,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
McDonald,
Yes.
Niv,
Yes.
Ty,
Yes.
Usman,
Yes.
Velez,
Yes.
11 yes. Motion granted.
Read the next order.
Councilor Hill recommends that the Lynn Police Department, in an effort to reduce crime in the city of Lynn, look into the feasibility of installing cameras on buildings in high-crime areas in the city.
I agree with this order because in the high crime parts of Lynn, sometimes it's hard to locate who committed the crime, who did the break-in, any kind of graffiti or anything. So I feel like with the cameras, we'll be able to identify people a lot faster and easier. So I'm gonna motion this to grant the order.
Second.
Second.
Okay.
Discussion.
Yep. Who wants to talk about this? Yes.
Well, I kind of agree with this, and I kind of disagree. And the reason why I disagree is because I feel like having, cameras in a specific part of the city will kind of like, I don't want to say segregate, but like, maybe disinclude that part of the city, or that city will be looked at as that part of the city that's like bad. So, don't go there. Like, I mean, it's a good idea, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of errors that could go wrong. Problems, yeah.
I feel like once people of the city find out the areas where the cameras are placed, they will know better than to commit a crime in that area. So I feel like it could cause an even bigger issue, and it'll kind of be a waste of money because people will be smart enough to go around it and find a way to get away with a crime that they really want to commit.
What about privacy? Like, we're all law-abiding citizens, right? How do you feel about being on film? Because you're in this area and you're just minding your own business and you go into the store or whatever and you're being filmed. How do you feel about that?
Well, we really don't have any privacy. We think we do. 1984. I think that it would be a great way to probably try to decrease crime rates, because if these people who, say, criminals know that the cameras are there, they might perhaps avoid the area, or of course there will be people who do crimes or commit crimes regardless of the cameras being there or not, if they really wanted to, but I feel like it might just decrease the crime rates, even if it's just a little bit. That does count.
So you think it's a good deterrent?
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, also you have to think of the possibility, like what will make us not think like that we just destroy the cameras, shoot them down, or like just cover it and just go on with their violence.
It's interesting when you see on TV, a lot of times you see on the news, they'll show people that have come into a building that has cameras and they still commit the crime and they run out, and it's like, but they're all covered, so they all have ways to get around it if they really want to commit the crime.
So nobody is offended or takes exception to the rule of a person who's abiding by the laws being filmed, and nobody has a problem with that, right?
I think that if we're law-abiding citizens, we shouldn't have to worry about being watched, because we know we're not doing anything wrong.
I also agree. I'm thinking that if you're just walking down the street, you're minding your own business, and say something were to happen to you, and nobody were to be around to see what happened, you're the only person that knows who it is, but they can't completely take your word for it. The cameras would definitely help out in tracking that person, and I think it'd be extremely beneficial for many things.
Regardless of wherever you go, you're always on film, whether you're in a store or in a restaurant, you're somewhere, you're always being filmed. There's always some sort of little camera you're always being filmed on. I mean, even if we don't even see it, you're still being filmed, regardless. I'm sure there's cameras here in City Hall, there's cameras in the schools. So Exactly. Like no matter where we are, we're always being filmed. Just no one's really ever realized it. So I don't really care.
Crimes that are solved if it's a camera that's on a store and somebody's crossing the street and they get hit by a car, the store happens to pick it up. So in that case, you know, it is beneficial.
Well, think about the Boston Marathon, right? The bomb, and the camera from the store is the camera that caught the people on film. Anybody else?
Roll call.
Angeli,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Denham,
Yes.
Dunnigan,
Yes.
Paddo,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
McDonald,
Yes.
Niv,
Yes.
Ty,
Yes.
Usman,
Yes.
Velez.
Yes.
11 yeses, motion granted.
Read the next order.
Councilor McDonald recommends that the Parks and Recreation Director look into the feasibility of hosting summer concerts featuring local bands at the Breed Field.
I'm going to motion this as agreed because I think in the summertime most families get not bored, but like what else is there to do? Like besides going to the beach and seeing fireworks and going to the sandcastles, like what else is there to do? So I think that having summer concerts would be something different, something unique, something new that no one's ever really thought of doing. So I'm in for having a summer concert.
So it's motion to grant?
Motion granted.
Second.
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 Yes.
Discussion.
I also agree with Councilor McDonald because I feel like it'd make the city a lot of money. Although you have to, if you have to pay the bands to play, just think of all the money that you're going to be getting back from all the families coming, buying food, buying drinks, all that type of stuff. I just feel as though it'd be beneficial to the city.
So where, Councilor, Breed, right, is where you want to have
The
these
Breed
concerts?
Field, yes.
And you know where Breed Field is, right? So do you think the neighbors that live there would be thrilled about this idea?
The noise, well, if you're elderly, I'm sure the elderly would complain about the noise, but I'm sure that if we do it at a certain time, like before people go to bed, like probably like early evening, like maybe like 5:36 when the sun's still up, so that no one complains about the noise. And plus, there's people outside regardless at 7, 8 o'clock at night because the sun's still out. But I think we did it earlier in the evening where people can bring like coolers and have a little picnic and watch a concert. I think that would be a good idea too.
Another thing about the neighbors, the city could offer free tickets to like the neighbors. I don't know what the distance or parameter would be for who gets free tickets and not, but that could be an option to give out free tickets to the neighbors around the Breeds Park, so that it's kind of just they're like.
This would be for concert. It's not a free concert then.
No, I don't think it was.
No.
No,
Don't
it's not
say
free.
free.
It doesn't say free, so I'm assuming people are paying, and then we could offer free tickets to those families.
Now, what about the trash pickup after?
So, I just wanted to give an example. So each year at Keeney Park, they have the big carnival, and that's across the street from my house, and that's really loud. And somehow we managed to deal with it. So I feel like the neighbors around there could get over it, honestly, because we were offered like free tickets to go one year, but like I didn't go. But the trash pickup, it does leave a lot of trash still. So I know with the concert, it would do that. So I think we definitely have to look into finding a way to make sure that it's clean after.
So when a previous councilor, we talked about violence in the city, and a lot of you said that the city of Lynn has issues with violence, right? Do you think that there's potential for violence to occur at this type of an event?
There's always potential for violence anywhere, and especially if people are intoxicated, maybe at this concert. However, it shouldn't be a factor in having this concert over the summer. Just because it's beneficial to the city, and it'd be good.
Councilor McDonald, are you serving alcohol at this concert?
No, this is alcohol free. It's a family event, so it's alcohol free.
Whoops.
Even though it is a good idea, I do find it kind of redundant because a concert, like he said, there's possibilities for violence everywhere, but I do think concerts, they might increase those kind of possibilities. We can do something else besides concerts that can also be beneficial the same way.
Councilor, I'm thinking that you're going to provide some type of security at this concert.
Yes, we would find some funds in the state that will allow the Lynn Police to work it, but it would also, like I said, it's a family event, so families would be here, and all, everyone, Councilman Usman and Dean said that there's violence everywhere, but with your family, but like I said, there's violence everywhere, so it would be a safe place. There would be police on duty through state funds, and there would be, I would hope that people that if they bring a snack, they would be responsible for cleaning up after themselves. We are not maids. They have to clean up after themselves. So there would be trash barrels, but people would have to be responsible for cleaning up after themselves.
They have a similar event with the movies in the summertime, so would it be similar to that?
Yes, it would be slightly similar to the movies that are shown at Red Rock. I've heard about that. I haven't gone. But I know that I've heard it's very fun. No one really gets hurt there. Families go, it's really fun. I've heard about it. So there would be resources there that keep people safe, and just to make sure people clean up after themselves, do what they have to do. If you're gonna bring a snack or a cooler, make sure you pick up your trash. Don't leave it for anyone else to clean up after you.
There actually is already one music, I think if you want to call it festival, whatever, concert sort of thing in the city today at Lynn Woods, I think called Hodgepodge. And it's been going on for, I think, 3-4 years, and there hasn't been any major problems with it in violence and anything like that. So I feel as if that would transpire over into this summer concert as well.
We had it when, I'm showing my age, but when I was a kid, they had a concert at the old Manning Bowl, and who was it?
Motley Crue.
Oh, Motley Crue, which now I'm really showing my age, but there were so many problems, and the city said never again. People were coming from all over and destroying people's properties, and it was really bad. So you always have to. That's why I was asking Councilman McDonald about security and things like that. So, but anybody else?
Roll call.
Angeli?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Denham?
Yes.
Dunnigan?
Yes.
Haddo?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
McDonald?
Yes.
Niv?
Yes.
Ty?
Yes.
Usuman?
Oh.
Velez?
Yes.
So that's 10 yes, 1 no. Motion carries.
No, I like it. Okay, next.
Read the next order.
Councilor Niv recommends that the Lynn School Committee look into the feasibility of allowing open campus for high school seniors.
I agree with this order because this will only benefit students. I feel like being able to go get outside of the school building for lunch, it's refreshing, and it allows students to come back with the new mindset and ready to carry more information and learn more throughout the day. And I just feel like it allows for a little break, and I feel like everyone needs a break, and staying inside the building can be very it causes you to lose your concentration after a while, so being able to step outside would be a great idea. So a motion for grant.
Second.
Second.
Oh, budget. Councilor Niv, what school do you go to?
English.
English, so no open campus right now, right?
No.
Anybody from St. Mary's? Do you have an open campus?
No.
So there's nobody here that has an open campus, right?
No.
I can tell you, in my experience, the city has gone back and forth. When I went to school, we had an open campus, and then now we don't.
Can I just
Yeah.
mention one of we don't have it is years ago, I'm not going to say how many, English had an incident where a girl left the school on lunch break, open campus time, and she went across the street to go to a food establishment. She got hit by a car, and she got severely injured, and the city of Lynn was sued over that. So there are, when it sounds great to you guys, but there's a lot in the background you have to take into consideration.
So
How many kids will leave and not come back,
So the city clerk raises an issue, which is, if you're for this, and everybody wanted to second it, so I think everybody's for it. If you're for this, how do you address the liability from the city's point of view?
I would say you have to go near restaurants within the school perimeter. So if you're in English, don't go to a restaurant near classical to get lunch. You can find somewhere near classical to go get food.
was going to Mandy's, which was across the street from school.
It still is. So I would stay, I go to Lynn Tech, so we used to have open campus, but because of what happened with the girl in English and the other girl at the old classical, that was shut down. And I think that if we have an open campus, you stay within the perimeter of your school. So for classical, you stay near, Tony Lena's or Panino's, whatever restaurants are within the perimeter of your school, go there, but you have to come back when your lunch period ends.
So your idea of open campus is the only reason you're leaving is to eat, right?
You shouldn't. There's a reason why you should, unless your house is within a 5-minute walk, then go to your house. But there's a reason why you should go 15, 20 minutes away from your school.
You only have half an hour.
Yeah,
30
half
minutes.
hour.
Yeah.
If we did open campus, we'd definitely have to extend the lunch period, I think. But so that kids would come back, we'd have to start penalizing them. So detentions if you don't come back to school, suspensions after so many. I think the problem with having kids just going to lunch around the perimeter is that it's going to take a long time to get their food. So then you're going to have kids being late coming back from lunch, or you're going to run out of time for lunch, so then you won't even have the chance to eat your food. So I think there would definitely have to be a system for it, but I'm all for it anyway.
Something maybe that you can look into also is anybody that does take advantage of that signing a waiver.
Yeah, definitely.
Put it on the emergency forms when you get back to school. We now allow open campus lunch, but you have to come back. But you have to sign a waiver that the school is not liable, that whatever happens to you outside of school, nothing to do with
And
them.
I think that would have to be signed by the parents
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
The under 18.
Yes, I'd say even if you're 18, and have your parents sign it.
Okay.
As for I am for open campus lunch. However, staying on the perimeter of the school is something that would be extremely hard for people at Classical, I feel, because there's not really many restaurants right in the proximity of Classical. English has Mandy's right across the street, which makes it easy for them. But for Classical, it's I think one of the closer restaurants is either Tony Lena's, which is still a 5-10 minute walk, or Mike's is right there as well. But
Which
that
one?
Mike's and it's more near Saugus. So I feel like it'd be a little harder just to stay in the proximities. But as for open campus lunch, I agree.
Oh, I guess. So I do agree, because I feel like at this point, seniors are kind of over school, and it would be, like Counselor Niv said, would be quite refreshing to just maybe leave, and after being cooped up in a building all day long, it would just be nice to maybe go out, grab a slice of pizza and come back, or I don't know. I think it would just be, for seniors, I think at that point you should be responsible enough to take care of yourself. And most seniors do drive, I'm not saying everyone, but a majority of them do. So I think that would just, I don't know, it would be a really nice, way to get out of the school.
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree with the notion, and I do agree with Counselor Ty. But I think it should be earned. I don't think it should be for everyone. Just because, just the violence, it goes back to the violence issue again, you know. It should be, you know, I mean, for students that can, you know, that, I don't know, you know, yeah, if you don't have, they have disciplinary issues, I mean, I don't think you should be letting students like that going out at that time, I mean, but yeah, I do agree with it, though.
I just have one more piece. I feel like a good way to implicate this would be to trial it at a school. Say, trial it at English first, see how it works there. Actually, no, trial it at classical first, see how it works there, and then see, like, just judge it off that, see it, what all, like, how it affects grades, how it affects attendance rate, all that type of stuff. And if it's all positive, I feel like it would be a very good idea to implicate it.
Roll call.
Angeli,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Denham,
Yes.
Dunnigan,
Yes.
Haddo,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
McDonald,
Yes.
Niv,
Yes.
Ty,
Yes.
Usuman,
Yes.
Velez.
Yes.
All right, 11 yes. Motion granted. Like I'm still saying it.
Down to the last councilor.
Read the next order.
Counselor Angeli recommends that the Lynn DPW increase the number of dumpster days and increase the trash receptacles in high pedestrian traffic locations.
I agree with this because I think that if the number of dumpster days and trash receptacles were increased, that we could reduce the amount of trash and pollution that's around the city.
Second.
Second.
Discussion?
I mean, everybody's for this, right? So, the old days, if you had a TV, you put it in the trash, and the trashman took it. If you had a refrigerator, you put it out front, they took it. Now, those types of materials are not picked up, so they're periodically, throughout the year, dumpsters and so forth are offered to get rid of it. So that's why this council order was filed, to offer more opportunities for folks to get rid of this stuff. Any discussion?
I feel that this would be a very good idea because if you look around the city, there's a lot of things that you see that you're like, oh, how'd that get there? TVs on the ground, broken glass, all that type of stuff, which is making our city look bad, making it look a lot more dirty than it is, and that could all be solved by having more dumpsters. People would not be aggravated by the fact that they have nowhere to put their extra things. Like people in apartment buildings, they get a new couch. Where's that going? It's going to probably end up on the street, and it's probably just going to end up staying there. So if there's more dumpster days, then I feel like there would definitely be a change in the cleanliness of the city.
I do agree because I feel like increasing the dumpster days would make the city cleaner. There would definitely be less trash just laying around in the streets because sometimes the dumps or your trash, however amount they allow you, does get full, and I feel like maybe some people resort to just like leaving them on the streets, which does look dirty. And does the city not get paid for the amount of trash we collect, in the big DPW things? So that might be a nice little extra income.
Good idea.
No more discussion. Roll call.
Angeli,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Denham,
Yes.
Dunnigan,
Yes.
Haddo,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
McDonald,
Yes.
Niv,
Yes.
Ty,
Yes.
Usuman,
Yes.
Velez.
Yes.
11 yeses, motion granted.
Good, okay, so you get kind of a flavor of how a city council meeting is done. So I was not teasing when I said that this was being televised, it really is. I think it's on tonight at 6 o'clock, although it's on live right now, so you can go home tonight and watch yourself on TV and see how you performed. I do want to just say to you that, that you're the best of the students in Lynn. We're really proud of you, whatever school you're going to, wherever school you're from, we're really proud of you as a city. And as you move forward in life, defend Lynn. People outside of Lynn take shots at us all the time. They don't know us. Sometimes the people outside of Lynn only hear bad things, and it's a great city. Be proud of your school and be proud of the city that you're from, all right? We have a small gift for you. I'm going to call your name, and we'll give you a plaque. And then, I believe, Mary, they'll be going down to the foyer downstairs?
Well, first, if anybody
Jerry.
is 18 or will be 18 shortly, if you want to stop by the election office, you can register.
Is there?
And then we're meeting in the foyer at 11:15.
How long is short?
11. There's 11.
How long is short? It would be 18.
When will you be 18?
August.
Yeah, you can register.
I have a question. So did all these really get passed? Like most of these?
These will be reviewed by the council and accepted for the files tonight.
These are real council orders. I wanted to say one other thing. So the city of Lynn has over 90,000 people, and I always say it's a big city, but it's really not, because everybody seems to know everybody. So as I was sitting here today, Ms. Denham, her dad was on, I think he graduated in 1981, I think, in Lynn Classical. Lynn Classical, the best school in the city. Mr. Dean, your father, 1981, also played on the baseball team. And Tony Hill was also on that baseball team. So I'm sitting here, and three of the students here, I played ball with your dads. So it's a small city. Everybody seems to know everybody. So
Remember Caroline?
Yeah.
Was on the same school.
see, everybody knows everybody. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to call your name, Madison. Good job. Okay. Caesar.
Beginning, but then once you got used to it, I feel like it was
Bobby, the guy who wants the state to pay for everything.
I know.
Molly?
I didn't really agree with mine, but I thought I had to.
Shay? Samir? Great job. Never be afraid to be that well decisive, right? You can both though, yeah. Always have an opinion, right? Caroline?
Day off from school. That's pretty good.
Tony Hill? Sean?
It's okay, don't worry about it.
Celine? Gabby? Gabby was quiet and took it all in today. She has notes on all of you. Diana's not here. Everybody has one? Please say yes. Yes. Okay, so Mary, where do you want them? City Court?
We're going to go downstairs to the election officers. It's actually, you can all meet in the lobby because the elevators are closed. If you want to take the stairs, I'll meet you.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone.
In English. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, your life is like one community.